Aviraj and I am software engineer at Tech4Dev. So before starting today's session, I want to start with the question: how many of you try to build a AI feature where you are just calling a OpenAI or any LLM API and you are not having any kind of visibility over it? So you are not tracking the response of the LLM, you are not tracking the cost, and you are not tracking any latency. Have you tried this? Yeah, yeah. So when you do that, you are just flying blind. You don't know what is going on behind the scene. Um, so when you build any AI LLM feature, you are not just shipping a code; you are shipping the behavior, and shipping a behavior is quite different from shipping a code. So you need to have some kind of visibility over your platform so that you know how what to improve and what is going wrong. So in this session, I will be talking about these things only. So quite a few people are here building AI LLM model using LLM models. So we'll walk you through how can you improve it and how can you monitor it. So let's start with some of the challenges we face today. So these are the some of the basic challenges you guys can face in your LLM feature. Starting with prompt fragility. So everyone knows here that in LLM model, prompts are the most important thing. Your prompts should be a good enough, and there can be a cases where your prompt is working today but might not work in next 2 months because AI models keep changing, and prompts are also shows different behavior with respect to a different AI model. Let's say you are using Grok right now, so that prompt may be working fine. If you shift to OpenAI, that behavior can also be shifted. Second is evals. So evaluation. So you also want to know how good your response is. Then cost and latency. Everyone knows here that LLM have some cost associated with it, and you also want to track what is the cost over the month, over the year, and how cost will increase with scalability or with more users. And latency is also there. So let's say you have shipped an LLM feature and you have not changed anything on your end, but on the LLM provider you are using, let's say OpenAI and Grok or any other, they have changed something and the latency increases, so you want to track the latency of the response also. And next is prompt management. So what does the prompt management means? So uh, if you're different LLM features, then you will have the multiple prompts, right? And you are using the particular prompt right now, and you wanted to move to the new prompt, and you are able to do that. But when you move to the next version of the prompt, you found out that that prompt is not working good in the production, and you want to roll back to previous prompt. So you should keep you should have the previous version of the prompt also, so you are able to roll back to the previous version also. So this is a prompt management. It's like just you are having different prompts and you are able to store the different versions of the prompts also. And there are also privacy concerns, so that if user is asking some question, you want to know that you are not leaking a personal information also. And there should be some way to audit also. So these are some of the challenges you guys can face when you build your own LLM feature. So this all things comes to the point because you don't have observability over your application. You are not monitoring anything. So what does observability means? Observability is just the visibility over your application. So you know why the particular behavior was shown by the feature, and you want to understand your application better. You want to track costs, you want to track latency, this type of things. So let's start with imagining a scenario. So uh, you have deploy a chatbot, right? You are not monitoring anything, you are just calling a LLM model. You have a good prompt, everything is working fine on a day one. What will happen in end of the 1 month? Um how would you decide that the response produced by the your feature is good or not? Maybe user feedback, maybe your own intuition, but this should not be a way to do it. So so you should monitor your LLM inputs, outputs over this month, and decide what is going on. You may get the average latency, let's say it is 10 second, and you want to drop it to 6 second. You have the cost. Right now there are 100 users, let's say the cost is $100. So you know that if there will be 1,000 users, this will be the cost. So these are the things you can do after a month. You know what to improve on, and let's say you done some improvement, then also you can over the next month, you know if this improvement is working fine or not. Yeah. So to monitor and to do observability, there are multiple tools out there in the market. Right now I will be talking about this specific tool, Langfuse. So Langfuse is a open source, so you can integrate that in your applications also. And it helps you to streamline your development, monitoring and testing of your LLM models and features. Think about Langfuse as your air traffic controller. So, how the air traffic controller has visibility over their airspace, right? This is the in the same way, Langfuse will help you to have visibility or your LLM feature. So, these are some of the features present in the Langfuse. First one is tracing. So what is tracing? Tracing is just basically tracking your each AI request end to end. Let's say you are calling OpenAI for first, you are calling OpenAI for uh, elaborating on particular topic. Then you are again calling it for summarizing it. So tracing will have observations which you can add in your application, and you will have um input and output of your application. So I will show you what tracing is in dashboard also. Then there is a metrics. Metrics are latency, cost. Then there is evaluation. Evaluation is just how good is your response is, and response can be good on the multiple factor. Let's say there can be the correctness factor, how accurate your response is, how helpful is your response is. So there can be a different criteria for your evals also. Then there is a prompt management. uh, yeah. So I will next walk you through the Langfuse dashboard also. Okay. These are the traces in the Langfuse. From the name, you can see this is a QA chatbot. This is some type of a chatbot, and we are tracking the chatbot here. So if you see the input here, it is the user input, and this is the timestamp, like at what time user asked this question. So they asked what is Langfuse. So then you can see what is the output of that question. And there's one more question, provide explanation for 1+1. So these are just for a demo. Um, so you can see the output of your application. Then there is a latency, how much time it took to complete the overall response generation of your feature. Like in this case, there is 7 seconds for first question and 13 seconds for the next question. Now it is quite high, and in testing you may be thinking that 7 second is the fine latency, but if you see in production there is a 14-second latency also. So you want to debug this, right? How it is a 14-second latency. Then you have the input tokens, output tokens, and what is cost of calling a API. So one trace has the cost of $0.03, another has $0.09. See, and I will come to this helpfulness and this parts also. So see, this is how tracing will help you in your AI LLM applications. And if you want to go in detail, you can see chart here also. So in this particular LLM feature, in this particular LLM feature, there are a various observation also. So first it will start, then it will like they may have some function where they are handling the chatbot message, then they will get the prompt, and this is the quite complicated AI workflow. You guys may have some simple workflow because um, yeah, so then you will have OpenAI LLM call. So this is the workflow of this particular LLM feature. Okay, so I will move on. So another feature here is session. Session is basically grouping of the traces, and let's say you have multiple LLM features, right? So you can group these traces and do your analytics there also. Uh, Next is, so here you can see the prompt management. So there are multiple prompts, you can track them. So point of this is not that you use Langfuse for prompt management, for tracing, and this point is that you use some type of tool for monitoring. You use you do your own prompt management. You can do that in a Google Docs also, but if you want to do it like a version like thing, then you can use some type of tool here. So see, there are multiple prompts, and if I go to any prompts, so you can see this was the first version of prompt. uh, this is the particular first version of prompt. Then we move to the second version, then there is third version, and this is the current one. See how you are tracking everything now. You know what you are using, what you are using now, and how it will improve your application. So you can have configure matched with the prompt also. Yeah. So this is basically a prompt management. Uh, Now I want to move to a topic of evals. They were talking about LLM as a judge. There can be different ways of evals. I think there will be next session on evals also. But right now I will be talking about LLM as a judge only. So in LLM as a judge, consider a scenario. So in LLM as judge, you use LLM for judging your response. So you have application with hundreds of user which is generating thousands of response daily, right? You don't want that a human being will come and see the question, see the response, and will check that it is good or not. So there can be a different criteria of judging. There can be helpfulness as a criteria, there can be the correctness as a criteria, there can be completeness as a criteria. Okay, so let's say you are judging on the best of the correctness, how correct a particular response is. So you don't want a human will go and assess every response and will mark that this is the, on a scale of 0 to 1 this scores 0.3, this scores 0.4, right? So then what you will use, you will use LLM as a judge. What it will do, it will take a output, LLM output. If you are judging based on correctness, it will take LLM output. It will take a expected output and will call LLM and will ask it to grade the, compare these to response, expected output and the generated output, and score it based on 0 to 1. So this is the basic idea of LLM as a judge. So there was a question that how that helpfulness score was being calculated, right? So if you see here, there is a evaluator named helpfulness. So here you can see there is a prompt which is being used. So this is quite a big prompt. So here you can see there is a generation user query, and there is a generation in this prompt. Basically, we are asking LLM to grade the response based on 0 to 1. Okay. Two traces here. So what I have done in this trace, I have used the unhelpful prompt. I basically said LLM that generate a rubbish answer for the user. So you can see the helpfulness score is 0.2. In below prompt, I asked him LLM to like generate a good response. So there is helpfulness score is 1. So this is for the helpfulness evaluation, right? Uh, in similar based on your application, you want to have correctness, or you can set up your own evaluators also. Let's say if there is already set of golden questions and answers, right? Where you have what is the question, you know what is the expected output, right? And you want to judge your particular prompt that it is generating a correct response or not, or workflow it is correcting it is like generating a appropriate response or not. So you can like use LLM as a judge to compare between the expected prompt and what is a uh, generated response. So here you can see I have judging this based on the correctness value. So you can see who was the first person to walk on the moon. So I set up the prompt wrong intensely. So answer is Buzz Aldrin, which is wrong. Expected output is Neil Armstrong. So you can see that the correctness score is 0. Yeah. And if you want to compare for your data set also, so you have here that the average correctness is around 0.6. So you can do it on a data set also. So this was a brief about the Langfuse. So I think idea of this session was to uh, don't fly blind, fly with instrument. Have some type of monitoring or evaluation setup in your application, so you can assess it after 1 month, 2 month, or whenever you want.